Hey man, it's Francisco here. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful night. And yeah, let's get back into it. It's been actually a very long time since we've done any kind of vlogging, but this is actually what I looked like after my first show. Unfortunately, this is what I wanted to look like, but that didn't happen. I was very flat, and I should have carb loaded a little heavier, but I was a little worried. Would have been a little easier if I had someone else watching over, but it is what it is. I got actually third out of fourth. If you guys did not watch that previous video, I'll link in the description below. But yeah, let's actually get back into it. It's been quite a while since I've done any kind of updating or anything. I've been out and about just doing my thing. And these are actually one of the few movements that I've been able to keep in my lifting, actually. I've kept squats because being at a home gym has kind of had me in a situation where the variability isn't as much as I'd like to have. So squats are definitely a must, unfortunately. Luckily, I enjoy them, but this is definitely one that I've added because of my older brother Alberto Nunez. I got the wife actually doing some box squats also. She's been having some knee issues, but she's made a lot of progress over the last 2 years. She's definitely getting stronger, and she's getting technique down and form and everything. So she's been doing wonderful. But going back to this specific movement, I'm actually really glad I've been able to get the hang of these. They really hit the medial, just the whole leg in general for the quad. Just a great workout, and it's one of those things where I'm glad I found it because it actually makes lunges very enjoyable for me personally. It just it's a little bit of a balancing act to get this one down, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually very nice, and you really get some good quad activation. The stimulus to fatigue ratio is actually pretty acceptable. So. And then leg curls as always. These will forever stay in my routine, just the variability that I have at home. And if you look to the right, you will see the band that helps give it that resistance that you would at a commercial home gym. So it kind of helps out. Definition's getting there on the quads, you can see there. But I just try to focus on the tightening and not trying to swing as much the weight around, and actually focusing on the lengthened position where it really stimulates the muscles. But curls are definitely a must for hypertrophy, especially with this machine. People give Titan Fitness some flack, but for a home gym, they've actually done quite well, especially with the other machine. I know I'm gonna get some flack for this one doing shrugs. Like, what's this guy doing shrugs for? But it's just one of those things I feel like I have to work out. Not only that, I genuinely enjoy this movement. There's nothing wrong with someone doing a movement that someone says it doesn't work out a certain muscle group, but if you enjoy it, why not leave it in your workout? Especially the way your trap's kind of attached to the medial aspect of the spine. It's kind of, I was watching a video and doctor was kind of describing how the trapezius attaches, and it kind of doesn't go up and down. It's more like going across the horizontal. So that's why I do a little bit of a wide grip. So good old dumbbell presses. For military presses, one thing I've had to fix is that right shoulder. It's extremely tight. You can actually see the left one extends all the way, and the right one just kind of very uneven. I know the GoPro's not in front, but if I actually put it in front, you will actually see what I'm talking about. So it's something I've been working on. Incline dumbbell presses are definitely one thing that's been, focusing on. I actually will be going over my spreadsheet as far as my mesocycles and macrocycles for 2023, 2024, and 2025. And back to prep on 2026. that's on the table for now. It can definitely change at any moment. But going back to this right here, Titan Fitness, this machine's given me a lot of versatility, especially with the overhead extensions for the triceps. This is one of the workouts that I get a good strength stretch in the lengthened position, and I've been able to keep it. Definitely wish I didn't have hair when I'm doing these. Kind of gets caught in the back, but I try not to get it caught up. And I try to focus extremely hard on the lengthened position, the stretch, and the contraction for the flexion and, for the extension to hit the triceps. You know, so we actually add tricep presses, tricep extensions going down also to a little bit of a variation for the split that I have rolling right now. And once I'm actually done with Worlds, I'm going to take like quite a good amount of days off, so RDLs. I've been spinning my wheels as an athlete for a while, and being advanced, I should know better. For the last year and a half, I feel like I've been spinning my wheels quite a good amount. So we've added these RDLs. It's always been about squat, benching, and deadlifting, but I have to remind myself that I am more of a bodybuilder than a power lifter. So it's actually great to have a little bit of variability. And these workouts I have no injuries with, and I feel work really well with me, with my leverages and my movement, and just the overall movement in general. It's just a really great, you'll see my hamstrings right here. So no doubt about it, really great glute and hamstring workout, which is something I really want to focus heavily on, especially on the squeezing, the stimulus to fatigue ratio, and just getting the form down really well. So it's definitely one workout that I will be working on a lot. So probably no deadlifting for a while, I'm not that old, but I do want to take care of myself. So you'll see a little bit more of the posterior chain. I'm glad my calves grew a little bit, not too much, but at this point I will take anything I can. My quads have always been a strong point. You can easily see them just popping right here, even from the back. The wife tells me to. So good hamstring stretch, good stretching, good contraction, good glute workout. It's just something that really needs to be done. I try not to neglect one body part or another. And then go back to the machine, Titan Fitness. These are one of the other versatilities. Get to do a little bit of a rows, not as convenient as doing them like in a machine, but it's just, this will have to work. I just have to focus extremely hard on the row and feel that stretch, and some good old lat pull downs. You'll see on the next video, we've changed it up a little bit. We got a new piece of equipment that we'll be seeing in the next footage, where we can actually do a better job on the row, just different variability. And I think it's really going to add a lot to the toolbox of things that I can actually do in the garage gym. And you can actually see my quads right there, and just getting super lean and just grainy. But what's one thing I wish I would have done a little better for this prep is I wish I would have given myself more time. I would have enjoyed hanging around 140 for a little bit longer than I did right now. That way I can just really condition and hone in and tighten up really well. But we will take it. We've been practicing on the posing, so we'll see what comes out of it. Top 5, if I get it, wonderful. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. Here's another one of these workouts I just feel that I've been able to really add for the versatility. It's just a really great stretch position for the length and when you're all the way down, and just really good focus on the biceps. And then we do the other side, do about 12 to 15 reps. Something I tell everyone that, give it a shot. Do 10 reps. If try them out for 20 reps for a few sets and see what works well for you. Everyone's definitely different, And then one of these other workouts that I've been able to keep is these shoulder raises. I've actually had to really learn how to do these, so I've been doing extremely lightweight, staying in the mid-clavicular plane, and then doing a little bit of rows. These are actually the new handles. The new handles came in. If you want, pause the video. You can see them on the left side on the wall. And I'm actually using these right now. The only thing I have against these is I don't really get too much of a stretched position, but good contraction. So I actually might be adding some partial reps for some of these when I get to working on these, but definitely will have to learn how to use the handles. And this is the main one I was talking about. This is just a wonderful angle that I'm actually able to hit my back with, and you can just see all my back is just stretching, contracting, and I get such a good pullback on the top right there. So it'll be mainly focused on the tempo, the contraction, and the just getting that good squeeze in there. So just another angle for lateral shoulder raises, just to get these in. It's just something I've had to really kind of teach myself how to do again, and I'm going to definitely focus on this. So for next year, my mesocycle, my first specialty will pretty much be shoulders and a little bit of back and biceps. I mean, that's a lot. I might have to just keep it to shoulders and back, but on the second day for frequency, I'm doing squats twice a week, and for the second day I'm actually doing chains for a little bit of pause, just to get a good stimulation when I'm down there, and just get a good squeeze and just focus on the form and overall squeeze, and just really work on the quality of the reps and the volume. Like I said earlier, I've really reduced down on the volume, the sets and the reps on a good amount of my lifting, but surprisingly I've actually been feeling a little sore lately. It's definitely because the quality of work is just a lot better. I'm not doing so much junk volume like I used to. I remember when I was younger, I'd just be running around all over the place, just doing reps and sets and reps and sets and reps and sets. And, I kind of caught myself the later half of earlier this year, like I was saying a year and a half ago, just spinning my wheels. And I've had to really sit down and really look at my Excel spreadsheet and just, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? So, it was really eye-opening. So I'm excited to get the next few mesocycles, macro cycles going, because they're going to be a little more specialized. I have to put my quads in the back burner and do less sets total weekly. So just a lot of jumping around. I'll go over my workouts and everything later on another video, but we got some more equipment coming in. This is the bench that I was using earlier in the earlier videos. Those are the handles, and I had to order this bench. It was cheap. I can't complain. $150, and the quality is actually fairly well. People give Titan Fitness some shit, but they really do deliver. It's very budget friendly. It gets the job done, and I have no complaints. And I just want to take this time to thank you guys. I haven't been uploading as much as I've wanted to, but I know there's a few people out there that have been watching and following me for a while. See what I mean? Going back to the Titan Fitness, their quality, they've really upped it up a lot. So I don't know. I might have to order their leg press machine. It'll run like $2,000, but I'll think about it, because there's also the leg press machine from Prime Fitness that I would like to get. But I just want to take this time to thank you guys a lot, for following along. It's been quite a few years, and going back to Titan Fitness, the quality to detail and stuff, it's pretty good. And then it was just quick little rest of the video of me putting the bench together. I think I should have sped it up a little bit more, but I just want to, again, going back to, we'll be competing at Worlds in about 10 days or so. So we're not really gonna be peaking because, the last few days I've been doing a little bit of a recovery diet where we've been doing a little bit more food, adding in a little bit more food because essentially the fat loss phase is done. I probably could have dropped a little bit more, maybe another pound and a half or so, but I didn't want to sacrifice too much size. So now we're doing a little bit of a recovery diet to fill up my glycogen storages, and the carbs have been sitting around 250 to 280. Just as I'm done recording this, I've actually done 290 carbs, which is interesting because in 2014 I actually gave myself about a year to prep, and I was damn near 300 carbs the whole year, slowly dropping weight little by little. So it's definitely one thing that, excuse me, that I'll definitely be doing again when I start prepping, late 2025. I'll probably give myself another year because I definitely do know that diet breaks did help me out a lot. And, I didn't really feel too much like I was prepping until damn near the very end because, food intake was relatively high. Training was actually going really well. I didn't feel so depleted. And, I was just taking it 1 week at a time. And, yeah, it sounds horrible when I tell people that I prep for about a year. But, when you prep for a year, you give yourself enough time to have diet breaks, and there's some good amount of deloads. And, you get to a point where it's not so much flicking a light switch on or off, It's just a continuum. So you make it such a life habit that, by the time you have to do shows and stuff, you just kind of, you don't have to make as many changes. So that's how it is. Thanks, guys, for your time. Have a good one.